Namaste and welcome back to today's episode of Mahabharata Matters. In the previous episode, we saw that a heinous act was committed. The Dyuta Sabha became a Dharma Sabha. A woman was tarnished in the worst possible manner. Draupadi was not only dragged by the hair and disrobed in front of all the elders, she was called a prostitute by Karna, and Duryodhana had shown his thigh and asked her to come sit on him. Bhima could not hold his fury any longer. He got up and he took a vow, a terrible vow. He said he will kill the evil Dushasana who had the courage to lay his hands on Draupadi. He vowed to drink the blood from Dushasana's heart that dared to lay his hands on her. He vowed to break Duryodhana's thigh where he had pointed and asked Draupadi to sit on. And he said he would dance on the dead head of Duryodhana. Arjuna vowed to kill Radheya Karna in the battle. Sahadeva too vowed to kill Shakuni, who had deviously insulted and humiliated them all. Nakula said he will kill Shakuni's son Uluka, who was Shakuni's assistant. Draupadi vowed she will not braid her tresses, at least not until Bhima will do it himself with hands soaked in Dushasana's blood. All these terrible vows suddenly woke up Dhritarashtra from his slumber. He was scared that Draupadi would instantly curse them all to death. He abruptly started scolding Duryodhana. He said, "What have you done? You have insulted a pure and pious, virtuous woman like Draupadi. This is not the way you should be conducting yourself." It was already way too late. But then he wanted to appease Draupadi. He was afraid of her wrath now. So he tried to pacify her and appease her. He said to Draupadi, "Please ask me of any boon you want, I will grant you instantly." Draupadi said, "I want King Yudhishthira to be released from the bondage of slavery of Duryodhana." Dhritarashtra instantly granted it. He wanted to appease her some more. He asked her to ask for one more boon. At that time, she asked him to release the other 4 brothers also from the bondage of slavery of Duryodhana. Dhritarashtra granted that too. He wanted to please her some more. He asked her, "Please ask me one more boon and I'll grant it for you." At that time, Draupadi said, "I do not want to cross the maryada, the decorum of asking also. A person is granted only 2 boons at a time." So she did not want to override the dharma of asking itself. Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, Shakuni and their party was very unhappy and furious too. They left the hall fuming. At that time, Yudhishthira came to Dhritarashtra and prostrated to him. Yudhishthira still humbly said to Dhritarashtra, "You are my elder, I'll obey as you say." Dhritarashtra was immensely pleased with Yudhishthira's humility. Dhritarashtra said to Yudhishthira that he was going to return all the wealth that was theirs and their kingdom as well. He asked them to return back peacefully to Indraprastha and forget about the happenings of the day. He asked them to live cordially and happily. What are our takeaways from this incident? Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, Shakuni, they had crossed all borders and boundaries of decorum. The rest of the brothers had stayed quiet. Vikarna was the only person who had the courage to speak up against their adharma. The Kauravas had drifted way far away for them to even realize what was right from wrong, dharma from adharma. Another thing to notice here is that modesty in asking too. Draupadi could have kept asking so long as Dhritarashtra was giving. She did not want to step over the boundaries or maryada of asking for boons. She was satisfied with the fact that her husbands were free now. Rest of the wealth and power, she did not care for that. With these thoughts, we come to the end of today's episode. Remember, in this series, we are discussing matters of Mahabharata because even today, Mahabharata matters. Hari Om.